welcome to today's presentation. We are at OSRAM with our customer OSRAM. We're talking about a GenAI solution, and yeah, feel free to join. I think it will be very exciting. So please, OSRAM, stage is yours.
Thank you very much. That's great to be here. Welcome here, and we would like to take you on the journey from the past to the future. And the first question I would like to raise: who knows OSRAM? Yeah, I think that's absolutely clear. But OSRAM is more than it was in the past. It is not like only switching on the light and turning off. Nowadays it's much more. We are a combining of sensoring and interacting with the people, and we would like, to adjust the light according your emotions, according your needs, and therefore I think light is much more than it was in the past. It is really more. And if you ask where are we, if you take a car and you look in the car and you travel in the morning either by car or by train, I believe you will get in contact with one of our products that we produce at AMS OSRAM. But I'm a plant manager and I'm not responsible for producing any of your lights. So if you have any troubles, don't come directly to me. I'm not responsible for the light, but I'm the source of the light. I have a plant that produces pre-material. So pre-material that is responsible that you have light at home. And might be what's interesting is that I don't have a plant that builds on the ground, on the green field. It is a brownfield plant. I think my plant stands for the normal German industry. The plant was built 1961, so quite an old plant, and therefore we have big challenges. The challenges is within the plant of the history and on the other side with the product. And if you would like to go to the future, you need, a reason why you go for a change. And I would like to give you a short introduction what changed in the lighting industry. The first one, in the past we produced a lot of pre-material for the lighting industry. In the past it was 4,000 tons a year. But nowadays with the LED that we only have the amount of products about 4 tons. So you can imagine if you have a plant that changed from 4,000 tons to 4 tons, there is a dramatical change in the way how the plant looks like. As well, if you go into the life cycle of a plant, of the products, the light bulb that you have at home, or at least in the past, we had it over 100 years. But nowadays, the life cycle of the products changed a lot. So therefore, we don't have a mass production, we have a project business. And that's quite a big change in the way how the people think, how we do projects, and therefore a quite big necessity to do something different. And if you think how you are connected to this, that's the next slide. It is, if you look at your mobile phone, each time when you would like to get a new mobile phone, you expect more light and the battery should last longer because we are responsible for the light that you have in your smartphone, and you expect more and more, and therefore we have to adapt. And that means that a product that we had in the past, they disappeared, so quite the people feel, I would say, very, very poor. And they think how they could cross to the future. It is a possible way, but it's a dangerous way. We have to go from the history to the modern part, even with a company that's over 100 years old. And therefore you need a strategy. And the strategy, it is very simple. We do at first lean management. That's quite simple. Pokayoke, color coding, and finally going digitalization. And that is what we did with Ad Astra, and that's, I think, the way to the future. Because the working environmental in my plant changed a lot from, I would say, the history with heavy impact that the workers have to lift. On the other side, we have a clean room area where the workers have to do different jobs. but I cannot exchange the employees. We have to adapt the working environment. And what we also changed is that the people have to switch the working place quite often because we have now different products. Yeah, we are producing now the LEDs. Tomorrow we're producing pre-materials for the lighting industry like tungsten, molybdenum, and they have to shift. And therefore, we have to do something.
Yeah, thank you, Ingo. Well, I'm from R&D, and I think it's clear that I have to talk about challenges as we face. Yeah, so he talked about successes. I talk about challenges. So you can see here one of our major concerns. Yeah, on the left side, from your side, it's a happy guy probably, yeah, but is someone who will more or less soon will leave the company. And for that reason, a lot of experience, a lot of knowledge will go with him. Yeah? And that is definitely something which we cannot afford. We have to produce our products with a high efficiency. And for that, we need a lot of knowledge. Yeah? So we have, in short, we have to preserve that knowledge somehow. No idea how to do that yet, but you will see that in a second. And to make that knowledge available for everyone, basically. Yeah? And even worse, yeah, all of our knowledge comes from a lot of different tools, yeah, which we have. The plant manager mentioned already our long history, yeah, so we have a lot of tools in place and a lot of old file formats connected to that, and we have to deal with that. So there's a lot of information available, also electronically, but we have to get the information out of that. So think of pictures, or JPEGs, or something else, yeah. That must be digged through, and then we have to find a solution for that. What is the situation today? Well, look on your left side, yeah, sorry, then you will find a group of personnel, yeah, which is more or less typical for industry, so a bunch of operators, some maintenance guys, and also engineers or scientists, which have their own requirements for the information they are looking for, yeah? And look for the, let's see whether this works, no. Look for the wiggly curves here coming from the left going to the right. This should indicate how difficult it is currently to get the very information you need for your daily operation, yeah? And even worse, we have a lot of, I would say, varying ethnical backgrounds, varying educational levels, yeah, and all of that should be handled somehow in the solution to provide the knowledge at the end. What is the idea now? The idea is to use, I think it's well known to you, yeah, to use a chatbot for that purpose. And behind the scenes, of course, there is a lot of things going on which sum up all the knowledge. The technical systems are available, of course, but you have to draw the information out of that. And on your right side, you see, let's say, the face to the information. Yeah, so it is a conventional chatbot which you see here, but the secret is behind the scenes, of course. Yeah. Well, even if you have such a tool available, yeah, I do not talk about whether it's available just now or not. Yeah, that is an upcoming task. Yeah, but even if you have such a tool available, then you have to ensure that this tool comes to the people. Yeah, because the people make the money. Yeah, and that's why they have to gain the benefits from that. And for that purpose, we implemented what we called an artificial intelligence consultation hours on the shop floor directly with our personnel. And from that feedback, we have been able to talk to our collaborators and ensure that this solution, once more, comes up next, can be improved iteratively. What we use already now, here it is called future skills. I think this is a well-known term to all of you. Yeah? We use a lot of these skills already today. Yeah? That is also part of the success story so far. We have, with this high flexibility, high agility of our personnel, also the base for introducing new tools. And even worse for us, yeah, I talked about this inverted age pyramid at the very beginning. That is our credo. Yeah, we are never too old to learn. Yeah, so that's how we work. And now, before we come over to the technical specialities, we are really proud to that. So all of what we are talking today is already seen from the outside world. Yeah? And we were honored with this prize for Industry 4.0 award. So a very important thing for us because that shows that we are on the right track. Yeah? We do the right things at the right place to the right time. But this is only possible if you have some very, very strong partners on your side. In this case, with the chatbot, we have Ad Astra and, of course, AWS. That's the framework on which that is built. So we are very happy to have you found, by the way. Yeah? And so now I think it's time to hand over to Johannes to tell you a little bit more about the technicalities. Yeah?
Yeah, thank you very much, Bernd. So as Ingo talked about the success of OSRAM, Bernd and about the challenges, I have the pleasure to talk about the solution. But what was the status quo? So basically, data was scattered throughout the organization. There were different data sources. Finding the data, this just took a lot of time. And also really, this knowledge sharing is key. Aging workforce, some people leave the company, new ones come in, and they need to find all the documents. So really, retrieving the information just takes a lot of time. And for this, yeah, we wanted to have this chatbot solution that could bring the data together, could save time, and also really starting then on the shop floor, on the R&D area, the core of the plant. And for this, we had a 5-step approach. First one here is pre-processing and data ingestion. One specialty here is that, yeah, we use Amazon Bedrock as the overarching solution for the large language models, where we could use Claude from Anthropic. We did some pre-processing of the data that we could do, so, and there is, yeah, stirring it in OpenSearch, and there we could apply a hybrid search. So on the one hand, we have a RAG approach with a data store. On the other hand, we could just use a simple keyword search. Why using a keyword search if you have this fancy vector database? The reason for this is there are a lot of technical terms, and really it's difficult to find them throughout the documentation. So this combination helped us to increase the performance of the solution. Then again, for the foundational model selection, with Amazon Bedrock, you can pick various amount of models. Claude from Anthropic was, for this case, the best solution. And in the future, we also expect there can be updated version to newer ones or to the new Amazon Nova models. Once we have this, yeah, the architecture that we use OpenSearch, so really retrieving all the information, making this accessible to the large language model through a RAG approach. And then we also had to use a CI/CD pipeline. So really, it's not just about a proof of concept because, well, it's 25 and we all know GenAI works. So it's really about finding something where we can get value as quickly as possible and then scale. And therefore, it's key to have a proper CI/CD pipeline in place that we can then deploy to other departments, to other plants in the future. So really get the basics straight from the beginning that you can then run faster. And lastly, developing a UI. Because in the end, shop floor workers are using this, the employees are using this. They want to have a simple solution that they can access and don't need to use various different other tools where it's just more complex for them. It should be very easy. And just for this, I can show a brief demo. So in this case, the user is asking about how the laser should be operated. And in this case, for drum roll, then there is a several-step approach, what could be done. They can see the source of this. They know already what to act and don't need to look into SharePoint, into other documents, and so on. Then, of course, we can also see what do we need to do to change this accordingly. So how to change this route accordingly here. We can ask this. A few seconds later, we will also get the answer. And this, again, based on this, there's a 7-step approach, what we can do, how to move forward. They have the answer, they can move ahead. They can also provide feedback on this, thumbs up, thumbs down. So based from this, we can incorporate the feedback, we can tweak the solution, and we can improve this. But the question is also, what happens if they ask something which cannot be directly found in the specific document? I mean, there are problems with a lot of hallucination. that just a large language model makes something up, and this is, can be crucial in operations. If you do something that you're not supposed to do, you break a machine, this can create a lot of cost. So really what we do then is basically they can be asked something, and if then the chatbot responds, this information is not directly related to this. However, in the previous answers that you had, so the history is taken into account, there's an approach that you can use, there are the steps you can take here, and based on this, the operator knows how to act, what might have to be changed accordingly, and with this really then, moving on to the next steps. With this feedback incorporation, I think this is really key. So last week, we could deploy a new solution with an accuracy of over 85%. We expect in the coming weeks to get this to way above 90%. And how is now the technical aspects? How does this look? So just the process flow that you have. Data is collected in an S3 bucket. There we have various documents. PDFs can also be other formats, such as PowerPoint presentations, really about all the necessary steps, what have to be taken into account to solve this error. Then basically we can retrieve this information, store it in a vector database. Again, in addition, we can add the keywords to really have an overall better performance. Then once we have this, we can provide the answer to the user. They can ask their questions, receive the answer as the information is retrieved from the database, and feedback is given back for an iterative solution to improve further in the future. And basically on the high-level architecture, this is where you all get your phones out. So here it's really starting at the bottom. We have the documents. We can upload them into our landing bucket, move to the ingestion part, can store everything in Amazon OpenSearch. Based on this, we have a connection to Amazon Bedrock, so we can apply various models. Claude in this case. Then once we have the information, it's processed, sent back to the user. We use a Streamlit instance for this, so they can see the information as quickly as possible, can get the feedback, which we can again incorporate. And before mentioned already, of course, it's important to not just have the solution once. We want to see how we can scale this. So for this, we apply a robust CI/CD pipeline. We have tests in place. We have the code as infrastructure as code in Terraform, so it can be easily deployed for other departments, in the future also for other plants. And really this robust approach is that we can quickly get value, we can see what is working, we can get the feedback from OSRAM, can incorporate this again, improve the solution, and once we have a certain level of over 90% accuracy, then adding this to additional departments. And we briefly talked about OSRAM before, so now a couple words on Adastra. We're a global IT consulting company. We have a very strong focus in Europe, especially in Germany, with 7 offices, plus our North American business, combined with a global delivery team with more than 2,000 consultants. We're very proud of the AWS partnership we have. We are Partner of the Year, Data Analytics, as well as Innovation in EMEA. Thanks to the partnership we have, really access to those technologies well in advance. We can understand where it's working, where there's still some tweaking, and we can provide this information to our customers, such as OSRAM, or those solutions also to others, named the Volkswagen Group. We also have other ones here you can see. So really, they trust us. I hope in the future you will also trust us. And I would like to conclude this with just a summary of the next steps. So this is really, the solution was deployed, accuracy of now over 85%, further improving to get this well above 90%. Then again, rolling this out to various other departments. Sales and marketing is just one to name, and then moving ahead to additional OSRAM plans. And I think one aspect which is really key is also training the users, that they understand what is possible with the solution, what is not. That then the best answers can be provided, value is created where it can be, and certain guardrails are still kept in place. And with this, really, thank you very much. Our booth is in the AWS area, just behind the stage, so feel free to join us, and we're more than happy to talk more about this solution and others. Thank you very much.